Alright, welcome back to FX Action Trader weekly market analysis video. So on this week, we're going to have a lot of pair for us to monitor and to trade with. So let's begin with the first pair of the week, Euro Dollar. So Euro Dollar, on last week, I did mention that if this level we have a clear breakout, market could be a sell instead of a buy. But what happened was market did a slight retest on this support area, and we can see that there is a very strong bullish candle or bullish momentum which closed above the support level, and market just went into a very strong uptrend right after the non-farm payroll was announced on Friday. So on this week, if we refer back to the daily chart, we can see that market is somehow near another daily resistance, which is also the previous high at 1.216. So what does this mean to us? Meaning to say that if we are looking at the market current trend, the overall trend is still in a very strong buy trend, where we can see that market just created a high, and this high was broken and a new high was created. So for me, I would prefer market to break up this resistance zone, and when market pull back, this is the time for us to enter for a buy trade. So market is likely to retest the daily previous high at 1.2384. So let us just wait for the breakout above and the retest. So let us move to the next pair, the pound dollar. So pound dollar, if we see on the daily chart, the formation of this entire chart pattern is likely an uptrend followed by a potential formation of a head and shoulder, where this is the head and we have a left shoulder followed by a right shoulder. So if we change our chart to line chart, we can clearly see that market is now at the resistance on the daily chart, where we still did not see that market close above the daily resistance level. But with this formation, I strongly believe that, or I will be having more confidence with the market, that the big trend is likely to go bullish instead of bearish. So let us just wait for this head and shoulder pattern to be a valid pattern, which means we need to wait a break above this chart pattern or this resistance level, a pullback to retest on the neckline, and another push to the upwards. So at here, we are going to enter for a buy trade, and the market is likely to retest the previous high at 1.418, at all the pairs against the dollar are in a very strong bullish trend. So let us move to the Aussie pair. First, Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar on H4, what we can see is that market is somehow supported by the entire uptrend trend line, and we can see that market was in a strong bullish trend, and then market just went sideways right after the rally push, and after that we can see that the sideways structure has been broken by a very strong candle, and this is another sign, or a very typical sign for us as a trend trader, to continue to have a buy trade on this pair. And my final take profit area will be on the previous high, on the previous high, which is 0.8. Alright, so this is my view on the Aussie dollar. So if we are able to catch this movement, there is about 180 pips of in terms of pips. So let us move to the yen pair. So euro yen, I believe that on last week I mentioned that market is still in a very strong bullish trend after the break up of this sideways structure and also this fake out area. And on this week, there is no denying that market is still in a very strong bullish, where we could see that there is a break of the trend line and market is keep on making higher high and higher low. So on this week, let us go to the smaller time frame. So on H1, we can even see a clearer trend line or a clearer trend structure, and we are going to enter upon the retest. So in this condition, we are only going to look for a buy trade, and we are trying our best to not catch the reversal or catch the pullback of the market. So let's have a look on the pound yen. So the pound yen is slightly tricky compared to the euro yen, alright, because on daily chart, market still did not show us a very strong trend continuation signal, although the previous trend was an uptrend. So on H4, we can see that market is supported or market is resisted by this H4 key level. So when market show me a very clear break above 152.357, I'm going to go for a buy trade. So let us just monitor this pair, and I'm going to give you more updates on my Telegram channel. So let us have a look on the Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, I believe that last week I did mention that market is still in a very obvious uptrend. And on H4, we can see that market is in a very big sideways movement. Alright, market is in a very big sideways movement, where we can just merely draw a box here, and market is traveling between the up and low of this entire box. So looking on the recent market structure, we can see that this sideways structure and this entire downtrend trend line has been broken, and the market has started to create new high. So meaning to say that in this week, we are going to focus on a buy trend instead of a sell trend. Excuse me. So let us have a look on the Euro Aussie. So just now we have go through Aussie dollar and also Aussie yen, and both Aussie dollar and Aussie yen show us a very clear bullish sign. So meaning to say that we are supposed to see a sell trend, or we are supposed to expect a drop for this Euro Aussie. So looking on Euro Aussie chart, we choose the daily chart, we can see that market is still in downtrend, and market has been doing a pullback for quite some time. So on H4, we can see that market has attempted to create a new low, and somehow the new market is still supported by this support zone at 1.54813. So if this support zone is broken and market created a new low successfully, we can enter for a short trade. Alright. So the last pair for today, Pound Aussie. So the Pound Aussie direction is somehow similar to the Euro Aussie, where we are more bearish than bullish. So the next question is, when is the best area, or where is the best area for us to look for a short trade? So for Pound Aussie, we can see that market has broken the trend line here. Alright, the nearest trend line. And I'm going to wait for a pullback to 1.79. And at this area, I'm going to look for my short trade. I think I missed out one pair. Yep, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD has been in a strong bullish after a long period of sideways or ranging. So on this week, we can see that market has created a new low, and the new low was broken, and a new low was formed before Friday market close. So I'm going to wait for a pullback, and I'm going to sell this pair after market show me a very solid continuation signal like double top or head and shoulder right after the pullback. So that's all for this week analysis. Hope you guys like it, and I'm going to see you again in my next video.